Oh, hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Good, well, actually, good afternoon. I was watching football. I don't feel so good, though, peoples. Yeah. I think I got sick again. I woke up this morning and coughing really bad, which is not normal for me to start with. But more importantly, I went back to sleep, and now I woke up and my throat's on fire. Owie. I'm gonna gargle with some salt water, you know, do what I can from here. I've had a couple of aspirin, and lots of, I drink plenty of water, please, me water. Yeah. I'm not sure, I think, and you know what's weird, is that this time I didn't even leave the house. But here's the interesting coinky-dink if you want to go there. Okay, so, and I didn't even know you could do this, but, so, we took delivery for a set of tires. Now, these tires are so brand new that they are still off-gassing. And for those of you who don't know what that means, they still have their factory smell. Yeah, and everything was fine until the kitchen window got shut. And I spent most of the day yesterday breathing in that toxic what the fuck ever, right? Till I bitched, which he says I bitch all the time, but that's okay. It gets shit done, right? 'Cause 10 minutes later he went out there and opened the fucking window. I think he finally figured it out. 'Cause see, the way the house is situated, I'm in between the houses, and he gets the breeze that goes front to back, right? So he wasn't having the same cumulative effect of the off-gassing of these tires. Yep. And that's pretty much the only exposure I had, because I didn't go anywhere yesterday. I didn't shake a hand, meet a friend. I didn't do shit. Nope. Yep. So that's interesting that would be like one of those sensitive facts. I mean, these tires stink. Like, seriously, if you close the kitchen window again, I will asphyxiate in this apartment. That's no fucking joke. Them things smell like they came. It smelled like it did when I worked at Adelphi Plastics in Bellevue over there in the Benaroya Business Park, right? And I don't know if this place still exists, but it did back in the day. And I used to always come out of there with chips, my hair just filled with chips of plastic, and feet covered with sand and oil and water. Well, that's the reason why I lost the job, because, fuck, man, after I fell into the machine, they found out I wasn't 18. Oops. But anyway, yeah, wasn't before I worked there for several weeks, right? But I remember operating those big old hot injection mold plastic machines, right, for the 5-gallon buckets. So that smell was intense enough, and it's actually kind of different but similar. The off-gassing, right? Because while the product is hot, you don't really smell it, but as it cools down, right? Ugh, them tires stink. Hey, and Fozzie Bear, what the fuck, man? I think it's funny that you talk about the scum bomber. That's fucking hysterical. I keep trying to tell people there really is no politician worth a fucking plug niggle, but yeah, I would have to think that between the two of them, one of them will get us nuked, and the other one's just going to sell us down the river. So, doing the math outwardly, I figure about half the country's actually dependent on the government, and that's not just from the so-called or so-named entitlement group of people, or a third of the middle class that you shoved into poverty. That includes government employees. Yeah. They don't have a fix for this, folks. They really don't. Yeah. It seems to me like Greece's issue Well, really, let's go there. Who did this start with that I recall first? Was it Ireland? Ireland, Iceland. Iceland told the banks to fuck off. So why are we not telling the banks to fuck off? Because all this imaginary debt, this imaginary I fucking owe you, is not real, people. It's been funny money for quite some time, so why are we trying to pay a phony debt when we've been in bankruptcy since 1929? Yeah. They're going to wind up with their one world currency, you know that, right? Or they're going to limit it to... Right now what I see is this battle between everybody else's fiat currency and Britain and the United States. But look out, because China's over there, whoop whoop, doing their thing. And I told y'all, I warned you about them fucking BRIC nations a year and a half ago. I started talking about Brazil and, oh fuck, Russia, India, China, and, fuck, what was the other one? Was it Algeria? I can't remember now. Anyway, there were plenty of them. There were about 5 or 6 countries that were getting together with their own fucking currencies. And you know what? And I was listening to this last night too, and I really like Mike Rivero's idea. You know, I get the part where it sounds really space-agey, but at the same time, when you stop and think about what it would take to actually accomplish this, you'd actually be putting people back to work, right? And see, and I told you all through the 6 Basics Needs program, for lack of a better term, right? How if everybody started out in the same place, right? None of this people fucking beating each other over the head for basic resources, right? A place to sleep, something to eat, whatever, right? And medical care, right? And then I had the other 3, of course, internet for education and transportation, and yada blase, and but anyway, I digress. Those 2 programs would actually work hand in hand, and I think I have a way to draw out a map that would make more sense to people. Because see, everybody calls this shit entitlement, whatever. Well, we're all human beings. And this no longer becomes a pro or anti-life issue for me. It becomes, fuck it, we're here already. We need to deal with this. This past digging up bones shit and future tripping on what might be without looking at the reality of now is what's causing the fucking problem. And look, these spending bugs down there in D.C., they're just going to keep borrowing more money so they can finish selling off the rest of America to China in the way that they are if we don't turn this boat around. And then I heard one of these fucking talk shows this morning. I can't remember which one. Was it Chris Wallace? Somebody was saying, oh, we shouldn't be so mean to government. Or was it MSNBC? One of these 2, right? One of these 2 yuppies that ain't never fucking missed a meal. Oh, God, right? I'm just like, shut the fuck up. This has got to be about a we thing. This is not an I thing. This has always been a we damn thing. We are all in this together. So what is so hard about spreading around the basic needs to everybody and allowing us to go from there? And then I had to hear this argument. If you feed them, they'll breed. If you feed them what, they'll breed. Not this genetically modified engineered shit. Did you hear the recent fertility rates in this country? Oh my fucking God. I was lucky to get off the 4 babies I did. Yeah. Wow. Anyway. If we pulled away all the subsidies from big business, that would include oil, ConAgra, the utilities, the nuclear industry, and only funded the basic services for military and in our basic safety net programs, this wouldn't be a problem. You get that part, right? And if you stop and think about it, the fact that there is such a great need for all of us. You know, what harm does it do to start doling this stuff out like we should have been all along? Everybody should have had the same basic toolkit to start with. But by virtue of some socioeconomic standing or the color of your skin, you get asked out, and you don't think that that isn't remotely racially motivated. Well, I would beg to differ with you, because it most certainly fucking is. And don't get it twisted. My skin tone did not make me immune to this shit. Yeah. It's a race between the haves and the have-nots. So then your skin tone don't matter. But the fact that most of you don't even realize your churches are investing in the enslavement of all of us is really quite amazing to me. Yeah. I can't stand 501(c)(3)s. I can't. That is the fucking unmitigated, unwritten law abridging religion and Congress. Did you get that part? They say they can't do that constitutionally, but they have. By virtue of the 501(c)(3). Because, see, you and I can't go publicly examine your pastor's books, but the government can, anytime. So what the fuck is that about, people? If it ain't fraud. If it isn't controlled, manipulated, and dominated, right? And then these people, they take their money and they invest in fun shit like Corrections Corporation of America. Yeah. Hey, Google, I got a suggestion to you. Ramp up your friendly spots. You want to outdo Facebook? I got a couple ideas. I got a couple ideas that would help fucking Googler just pass by fucking Facebook. Yeah. But I would have to have the absolute assurance that you people would discontinue selling us out to the government. Yeah. Allowing our email accounts to be phished without warrants and all that kind of fun shit, you know what I mean? But I think I've got some ideas, especially some marketing campaigns that would drive more business to Google. Yeah. Your unspoken attachment to Microsoft is just vastly interesting, since that man would rather kill off millions of us as well. Yeah. Hi, Bill. Hi, Melinda. Shit. Oh, yeah. Anyway. They did a softcore piece on Warren Buffett this morning. I don't know what to tell you about that man. Except that he's really no better than a Jamie Dimon. Yeah, that's what I said. Or, what's that other guy's name? Thane and Larry Silverstein and all these other people that have been involved in crushing my country from Wall Street windows. Doing it from the highest point in the country. Because if you thought D.C. was it, you've been asleep a lot longer than I thought. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Yeah, we could use a two-tiered currency system in this country also. Yeah, just take the reserve currency out of circulation completely. This would be so easy. And then everybody could have what everybody needs. Yeah. Alrighty then. But I'm tired and I'm sick and she's still down. She's still got her owies and the boo-boos, right? Oh God. Alright, I have like quite literally worn myself out. That was the 15 minutes I had for today. Unless, of course, I think of something different after I've had some hot tea, because my throat is on fucking fire! I love y'all. Peace the fuck out. Yeah. And everything was fine until the kitchen window got shut. And I spent most of the day yesterday breathing in that toxic what the fuck ever, right? Till I bitched, which he says I bitch all the time, but that's okay. It gets shit done, right? 'Cause 10 minutes later he went out there and opened the fucking window. I think he finally figured it out. 'Cause see, the way the house is situated, I'm in between the houses, and he gets the breeze that goes front to back, right? So he wasn't having the same cumulative effect of the off-gassing of these tires. Yep. And that's pretty much the only exposure because I didn't go anywhere yesterday. I didn't shake a hand, meet a friend. I didn't do shit. So this time I didn't even leave the house. But here's the interesting coinky-dink if you want to go there. Okay, so, and I didn't even know you could do this, but so we took delivery for a set of tires. Now, these tires are so brand new that they are still off-gassing. And for those of you who don't know what that means, they still have their factory smell. And now I woke up and my throat's on fire. Owie. I'm gonna gargle with some salt water, you know, do what I can from here. I've had a couple of aspirin and lots of, I drink plenty of water, please believe me, water. Yeah, I'm not sure, I think, and you know what's weird is, oh, hello, good morning, well, actually, good afternoon. I was watching football. I don't feel so good, though, peoples. Yeah. I think I got sick again. I woke up this morning and coughing really bad, which is not normal for me to start with. But more importantly, I went back to sleep.